Good evening and welcome to another segment of the New Black Leadership Coalition here live at CAN Television Channel 21. My name is Gregory Sane. Stake your claim with Gregory Sane, and ain't no telling what's going to come out of my mouth tonight. I am the host and as well as one of the co-founders for the New Black Leadership Coalition. I am very, very thankful. I am very honored, blessed to say the least, to have another opportunity to come before you over these precious airwaves that we take very, very serious. And I have to thank God each and every single day that He gives us breath to breathe on this planet with so many issues, so many challenges for humanity as a whole. And definitely, I've heard one commentator say when white America catches a cold, black people get pneumonia. And, so the struggle in terms of for poor people is very, very real. And that's why leadership is very critical, but good leadership, good shepherds, and folks who are willing to go all the way with our people and not just play games with their emotions, but to do it because it needs to be done. And so, as a coalition, we have members that are very, very dedicated, very serious about the struggle. It's one thing to be spiritual, but it's another thing to be also connected to the struggle. It's one thing to have faith, but then you have to have fight. If there's no fight, then your faith is sometimes just out in space. That's why the scripture said faith without work is dead. And what is the work? The work is the upliftment of poor people, the upliftment of your community. And so that's why we have to make sure that we are relevant, very relevant with things that affect and impact the lives of our people. So I know it's so many things that I've been reading, and I'm sure you've been reading and paying attention to beyond the weather. Last night on Intellectual Radio, I did a brief commentary. I don't think I'm going to revisit that commentary, but I know that if we're not prepared, like with the weather, then we get caught off guard. And I think as a community and as a people, we've actually been caught off guard. But now it's time for us to get back on track. And that's why our Monday monthly media roundtable discussions is really to bring in the room various thoughts, various perspectives on some of the current events, current news, and information that should be disseminated because unfortunately we've grown accustomed to being entertained. And so radio and television now is commercial time that folks have, and it's not really enough of get our act together. And last week too, I spoke about having a report card. We have to have a report card, but I called it a progress report. What are you doing? What can you call in tonight and tell me that you have done since last week? What have you done since yesterday? What are you doing to make a difference? And not depending on waiting on the government, what Mr. Trump is doing or not doing, what the mayor is doing, or the governor, or the alderman, or the state rep, but what are we doing in our own personal life and in the life of our family and community? And I'm telling you, the New Black Leadership Coalition is extremely, extremely aware of that and want to help do that. Matter of fact, I want to put up here our information, some of the information that you can get in contact with us. That's the New Black Leadership Coalition. And there's some of the things that I want you to know, and in terms of us reaching us via Facebook, and our website will be coming up very soon. Now, I want to always try to reiterate our mission, and that is the New Black Leadership Coalition is a community-based coalition. The mission of the New Black Leadership is to create a viable working coalition between a new untapped group of community leaders within the black community. Our mission is to serve the cause of empowerment of the black community throughout Chicagoland and abroad. We will serve as advocates for our community in all areas of vital importance to the development of community and family. We will seek to transmit, communicate, and educate the community in the requirements of self-determination and self-development. And that's very critical. What is your progress report? I got a call earlier from a principal at one of our schools, and she called me, and it was almost like Big Mama calling me, and her voice was love, and her voice was concern. And I don't know if you know, but our babies are taking exams, one that's called the PARCC exam. So this particular principal called me, and this is a school that I've adopted, one of the schools, and I go by to mentor some of our babies and our young men. And so she called me and she said, Mr. Singh, I have one of your boys in the office. She said he was, they had to make him step out the classroom and finish his exam at another location because he was being disruptive inside the classroom. And I'm listening, and she had me over on the speakerphone. And she said, he's in here. And I said, hello, son. I said, what's going on? And she said, he's just sitting there shaking his head. And so she said, you should see his face right now, Mr. Singh. He's looking as though he's mad at me for calling you. And so I said, you know what? And she said, and yeah, he have on a nice pair of gym shoes. He always clean. And he have on a pair of Jordans. I said, I don't care about no Jordans. I don't care about no stupid gym shoe, pair of rubber gym shoes that's overpriced. I don't care who name on it. That's how I'm talking to him over the telephone. And I don't. And I said, son, I'll be up there tomorrow morning. She said, well, can you get here before 8:30 because they start testing at 8:30? I said, yes, ma'am. I'll be there at 7:30, if not 7 o'clock, sitting in my car. Why? Because it's very, very important that he see my face. And I'm going to just tell you something. Any of my boys, if I get a call from my son, Mom, Elijah, yeah, that's what I said. If I get a call, I got sons that you don't even know that and I say that because they're my babies. And we all need to make sure that we check in with them. And if we have to check in right away, we need to make sure we stop what we're doing so that we can help out. We cannot continue to put so much weight and pressure on the mothers. Oh, if it were not for women, if it were not for the woman, I know in my life, I will not be sitting here making sense right now. Yeah, I'm thankful for the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'm thankful for the Honorable Marcus Garvey. I'm thankful for Fred Hampton and the Black Panther Party. I'm thankful for my father. I'm thankful for all of the men that came up in my life, Mr. Charles Hill. I'm thankful for Mr. James Taylor from the Urban League. But I promise you, with all of those strong black men, had it not been for the women in my life, I swear, I gotta be honest with you, I will not be here in this frame of mind. I would have not, survived all of the storms that been in my life. It was women. It was the woman that came to my aid and that continue to come to my aid. And that's why, brothers, we have to sometimes stop. And I know we can be a bit arrogant, egotistical, and all of that other foolishness. But when we humble ourselves, we'd have to admit that if it were not for women in our lives, at whatever capacity, none of us will be here today. And not because of her the fact that that's our mom, our first teacher, but the love, man, the love, and not only the love, but the giving that they've been doing in our lives. 312-738-1060 is the phone number. If you'd like to call in and give me your progress report, that phone number again is 312-738-1060. What have you done? What deed have you done in the last few days that will make a difference in the lives of our people? And it's very important that all of us are involved in doing something to make a difference. What have you done? And it's critical that we all are doing something. I know many of you all, and I want to ask you the question. Are we too caught up in the personality of Donald Trump versus the policies of Donald Trump? Is the media distracting us from what we really should be focused on? Who are you tuned in to? You know, I noticed that I haven't really posted anything on Facebook regarding, I'm so 48 Robert Taylor that I'm ready to go and play softball. It's amazing how we could all follow the trends, over Facebook, and I think some of it is quite interesting. You naming some of the things that we used to say or do, or we can remember some of those places that we used to go to. But I just wish that we could take that same energy over the social media and change the reality of our lives. That's that. I mean, if we use that collective power that we have with each other, we could solve almost every type of issue that we are faced with. And I know it's cool to do what we do on there, so I'm not beating you up. I just wish that we could use it more productive in ways that will advance the cause of our people. We have a bunch of friends, many of us on there, so we need to use that more for something productive too. We got a call on the line. I'm going to take this caller, and I want you to call in to give your progress report. What have you done to make a difference in the lives of our community and the lives of your own children? Hello, caller. How you doing?
I'm great, and I met you at a high school 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And my neighbor grandson graduated from Morgan Park, and the principal was giving him out about how to take care of his sister at school, brother, sister at school. And I told him he does the same thing for his grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
Very tender love care. And also, I work with young people, old folks. I don't have no age limit. I'm trying to tell people we got some of the greatest smart kids there is.
That's right.
All of our kids, trust doesn't mean they're not good kids. A lot of our kids that do well in school, guess what? They're not going to college. So we need to come together and get other programs that's reliable, successful for our young people. Back in the day, in public schools, they did a lot of things for kids in public schools.
Absolutely.
PTA and of that sort. But in
Right.
the meantime, we need to address the situation of kids who have graduated from school, not going to college, but they need to be into a trade.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Open up schools where so we can have trade going on. Because it's already paid for. And thank you. Keep up the good
I
work.
love you for saying that because the vocation and trades are critical. Many of our young people, a lot of them, and then you have to think about this. It's always been the case. Everybody is not going to college. And many of them that go to college, when they finish, they get a degree and sometimes advanced degrees, and they come out and they still go and end up working at the post office, which is great. You could have a great life. I got my best friend who works at the post office is getting ready to retire, and he's been really smart with his money. He has a home that a place that he's moving to. He's already moved to Orlando, and so but he went to Dunbar. He attended Dunbar High School, and then it was a vocation school at that time. CVS, vocation, Tilden, etc. Simeon. Believe me, folks, when I tell you this. Vocation is very critical. There are many young people that will still be in school if they had those opportunities right now. And I think it's just so unrealistic to keep promoting just college when you know doggone well everybody is not going. And then the big question is, why does college cost so much? Why do you have to pay so much money to get into the University of Chicago, to get into an Ivy League school? I thought we wanted people to be educated because it's a business. When you live in a capitalistic society, prison is not just to go and punish people and rehabilitate. No, it is designed to make money. That's why they call it the prison industrial complex. Everything is driven by money. Every single entity in this society is now being driven by money. And I'm telling you, folks, I am so proud to be a member of the New Black Leadership because the energy that we have and our members in this coalition are from various backgrounds. I mean, we have professors on this coalition, in this coalition, and they are very productive in this city. But what's very critical about the coalition is that we believe that through a collected effort of individuals, young, in between, around, old, or not so old, members who are relevant. And I know sometimes you've heard us expose those individuals that we've been disappointed in. And not that we don't love you. It's not that we don't care about you. But we're sick and tired of being sick and tired knowing that you in positions to make a difference. There's nothing that should be decided, no contract, no zero, without it being something that black people, poor people, benefit from. I mean, no decision in the state, in the city, in this government, period. The Black Caucus in Washington, the Black Caucus in Springfield, the Black Caucus in the City Hall, there's no way that you could sit back idly and let no decision go on without it really benefiting black poor people, period. And if it's a progressive caucus, I don't care what you call it. All I know is that we should not just be getting crumbs. We should not just be getting a small amount of contracts. When you look at the disproportionate amount of black folks being on the unemployment list, I mean, there's no excuse. We have every justification to ask for more. Every reason to ask for more. And that's why when it comes to our community and the youth, our credibility is shot. That's why when it comes to our credibility is shot, because we're not fighting enough. We're not fighting enough. And we don't owe nobody anything. Nobody anything. We have every right to want more. Anyway, we got another call on the line. Hello, caller. How you doing?
Great. What is your number where you can be reached at with your new black leadership?
Okay, you can call me. Oh, you mean you want to make a comment or you want to just call the new black leadership?
I want to call there.
Okay, I tell you what you can do. I'm going to give you my number right here. Or you can go to the overhead. I'm going to go to the overhead, but that's our Facebook, how you can reach us over Facebook. Is that fine?
Okay, great. Go ahead.
I'm going to put the overhead over here. And that's how you can reach us right there. That's www.facebook.com/the New Black Leadership Coalition. That's one way that you can reach us. And my cell number, and I don't have a problem, is 630-330-2641. That's 630-330-2641.
Okay, and while I have you on the phone, can I say this to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How many of you out there, you listening audience, know that the young lady that's running the Urban League, Whitney Young, is named after her also?
The young lady that's the president of the Urban League?
That's right. That's her mother's brother. Her father was a doctor over in the Maryland building.
Oh, okay. I worked for the Chicago Urban League for many, many years.
Okay, and these are the things that we need to address and talk to. You know, stop highlighting all the gangs and the drugs and the guns. We're not promoting that. But the more we talk about it, that's what we're doing, folks.
I agree with you. I agree with you. People need to know the positive things that we're doing. You are absolutely 100% correct. Thank you for your call. Yeah, the Urban League, when I was there, Mr. James Compton was the president. And since then, it's been our sisters who ran the Chicago Urban League. So I hope that this new president is active and involved with activism, you know, because oftentimes the Urban League and the Chicago Urban, the NAACP, and even Push to this degree, unfortunately, they have not been, in my humble opinion, everybody have a lane that they operate in, but we have to become a united front. We need to become a united front, and we will have all of them in the room when we do a big roundtable call to action meeting. The New Black Leadership will be sponsored at in days to come, and we're asking that every leader from various organizations and community activists and nationalists and even from the faith community and etc. We want to meet with everyone because we got to be more accountable. And without leadership that believes in accountability and integrity and putting your money where your mouth is or your resources and your energy, then people just running wild. And we got a bunch of folks out here that nobody has appointed them, and you have a right to represent yourself, but don't say you are a black leader or you represent us when in fact you don't even sit down with us. You doing your own thing solo. And so at some point we want to challenge and just see where you really are with your thinking and who you really are. We don't know you, and we see you out there, and we're going to call you in and sit down and break bread with you and really find out, are you for real about the conditions and really making a difference and changing some of the challenges that you know we are faced with without you just doing what you're doing to profit. Because if that's your motivation, strictly to make some money, to get a grant, and etc., then don't call yourself a leader. Just say that you're making some money. And then we got some that are just outright hustlers. And you're going to be called to the carpet and on the carpet because we do have a cadre of hustlers out here that are not out here on behalf of the people. You're doing what you do because you get a few crumbs here and there. And I mean, you know, you have to be exposed at some point. But in the meantime, folks, the new black leadership is very serious about bringing those collective minds together so that we could chart out a course that will impact us greatly. Because I know we all are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I said this earlier, of talking about the same things every day. We need to see some progress right away. Right away. And so I didn't get enough of you to call in to talk about your progress report. Because I'm telling you, the minute you start talking about action, it makes words unnecessary. We got to be action oriented. That's what's missing. And we got to have enough courage to not be afraid to speak truth to power. We got a whole bunch of people that come on different radio stations and talk shows, but I promise you, those folks don't have the foundation and they don't study enough. I listen to some of them just briefly, and then I have to turn them off because some of them, they make my stomach turn because they throwing softballs at folks. And I wanted to say this, real quickly, they were talking about the thing with Chance the Rapper and Mary Mitchell article. And they brought the guy from the Sun-Times on that. Do you know he made an excuse of why they put that garbage on the front page? You put that on the front page because you have been doing this forever, Sun-Times and Tribune. You place black men on, even though if we're doing something positive, you go and find dirt. You go and find dirt on us to tear up our image. There was no reason, Mary Mitchell, that you had to, whether it was a game or whatever's going on with that little brother, the gesture was good. And what he's doing makes sense. And more people need to do it. But for you to put that on the Sun-Times about child support was wicked. Wicked, period. And your motivations behind it, there's nothing good about it. So, Mary Mitchell, if you listening to this via Facebook or via CAN Television, you were dead wrong and you really owe the community an apology for that. That was weak. Very weak. And that's been a history of newspapers and televisions is always trying to paint a negative energy, a negative image of black men and women, and you put that garbage on the front page. But anyway, I gotta go, but I wanted to say that to you. Stop that foolishness. Stop it. You're a good sister. I love you, Mary Mitchell, but you were dead wrong and you owe the community apology. I'll take this call real quick and then we gotta go. Hello, caller, how you doing?
Doing fine, Brother Eric. This is Eric from D.C.
What's up, Brother Eric from D.C.?
Nothing much to make this real quick as far as...
Yeah, because we just got a couple of seconds.
I did take it and sit with this get out of the
Okay. That's a good progress report. You help somebody get out of an abusive relationship. Call me back earlier, Brother Eric. We got to go. I love you. And folks, get your progress report together. We've been here at CAN Television, the new black leadership. See you next week, same time, same place. Peace and love.